All right, Comp 1. Guys, we are almost done with this semester. We are literally almost there. This is week 13. There are only 16 weeks. Week 15 and 16 will be spent working on your final. So really, you only have this week and next week before the final project. So just let that sink in for a minute. You're almost there. Hopefully, you've been working your way through and doing quite well. I finished grading all the SA3s. On the SA3s, for the most part, people did very well as long as they actually understood the assignment. I think that was the biggest thing, and it always is for Comp 1. Comp 1 is not just can you write an essay, sentences, paragraphs, an introduction, thesis statement. Can you do that? Obviously, you need to be able to do that, but you need to understand the assignment. And so for most of you guys, those of you who understood the assignment, we saw A's and B's. Those of you guys who might not have watched all the videos or maybe didn't do all the readings or maybe just didn't understand the assignment, didn't do quite well. And that was because it was more than just can you write a few paragraphs about a reading. And so I'm starting this video out talking about that because if you don't understand Essay 4, let me know because I'd love to help you. And that is why I have extended office hours on Mondays. Actually, today I will not have extended office hours because I do have some other events that I have to speak for today. But for the vast majority of the week, if you guys have been keeping up with me, you know that I pretty much I'll make time for you. So I want you to understand what we're doing, and really it's essential to understand the assignment for you to be able to execute the assignment, right? That just makes total sense. So if you're reading the required readings, and if you didn't read all of the required readings, go back and read them because it's assumed that you understand that material for this reading. In this particular reading, or not this reading, this assignment or this essay, in Essay 4, it's assumed that you understand how to quote, how to paraphrase, and how to summarize. And so we've covered that already in the readings and in some of the video lectures that I've given you. But if for some reason you're like, hey, you know what, I either forgot or maybe I didn't pay attention or, hey, I'm not judging or anything like that. I was a student too one time, right? So if you're not really clear on how that works, that's okay. Just make sure to get clear on how it works. So how do I do that, Professor Coomer? Well, there's a thing called Google, really. I mean, it's that simple. How do I quote? How do I paraphrase? How do I summarize in MLA format? So MLA format is how we're doing it. It's as easy as that for the year 2021. However, you also have your the VU Writer's Handbook. That is, this is the old-timey thing. This is something that students for decades, probably 100 years ago, people had, maybe not this particular model, but that's what handbooks were written for. It was the days before the internet was available. So if for some reason you can't figure out how to Google something, which I know everybody can do that. But if for some reason you're like, hey, I want to make sure I'm reading something from the textbook, you can do that. And just go to the VU online or the VU Writer's Handbook. If you don't have one, I would just suggest using Google. But if you'd like to get a hold of one, you can go to the library. It was one of the required textbooks that we talked about in week 1. But if you didn't get it, you can find it. Again, though, how to quote, how to paraphrase, how to summarize. We've covered that a lot this semester. If you want just a really quick and easy video on how to do quotation and paraphrasing, I think most people, it seemed in the past couple of essays, you've had issues with not citing your quotes. So if that was you, go to the Essay 2 folder and you go into the Essay 2 lectures. I have a short video where I give you all the real basics on how to do a quote and how to do a paraphrase and how to cite it with the in-text citation. So make sure you're doing that. And then, of course, you are responsible for knowing how to do a works cited entry. Now, just a quick reminder, if you are using anything from the textbook, you can always go to, let's just go back to the Essay 3 folder. If you go right here, I give you a works cited entry from Michael Pollan's Why Bother. If you click there, you're going to see that I gave you the works cited entry for that particular reading. Well, here's the cool thing. If you're using any other source from this textbook, you can just copy and paste this and just change out some information. Just find out who the author is and do last name, comma, first name, and then the title of the article, right? Just that's what that is right there. So just put that in quotation marks. It's got to be in quotes. And then the only other thing that'll change is the page range. So done, complete. You've got a works cited entry. Now, let's suppose you're doing, of course, for essay 4, you need 2 sources from the VU Online library. Well, I'm just going to use this only. Well, let's see. Is this going to let me do it? For some reason, it's not letting me do it. Okay. Well, I'm going to go to the VU Online library where you're going to find 2 of your sources. Let's see here. Where are you? Okay. The VU Online library. And let's go to databases A to Z, academic search complete. What is going on? Interesting. Maybe it's my VPN. No, I don't have VPN turned on. Back to safety, I guess. Okay, well, maybe if I try this, that's not going to help either. Okay, well, I can't really show you at this particular time because it seems as though something's wrong with my browser. However, hey, and that happens, right? I guess that's a demonstration of how this happens to everybody. But I know that if I come back later, it's going to be fine and I can use the VU Online library. So what I'd like you to do for an example of how to get a citation, a works cited entry, is take a look at a previous video where I've shown you, because I've shown this multiple times this semester. So you want to take a look. All you have to do is there's a citation tool on the right side. You'll click Cite, you scroll over and find MLA, and you can copy and paste that, and there's your citation. Again, most of you guys have been doing a great job with this semester. So, but if you haven't, if this is something you've struggled with, this is the final essay. This is the last chance, guys. The last chance. Now, and the thing is, for this essay, we're in essay 4. You know that we're also doing annotated bibliography. And again, the annotated bibliography, it's a separate assignment, but you should look at it as an assignment that helps you make a really good argumentative essay. So you're going to take all the sources that you're going to use in this essay, and you're going to do basically what it says here on the instructions. And you're going to have the works cited entry, and then you've got the paragraph. And the paragraph is going to do 3 things. It's going to have 2 to 5 sentences briefly summarizing the source. It'll have 1 to 3 sentences explaining why the source is a good source for your essay. Again, we're going to use that crap sheet to help us with the vocabulary that we're going to use. So that's the source evaluation materials full sheet right here, the crap test. So you're going to say, okay, the source was written in the year 2019, which makes it a current source, right? Because it's not old, it's a current source. Or it was printed in Journal of American Medical Association, meaning that it's an authoritative source. So it's got authority. So all you have to do is just a couple of those, and then really you're set. That's all I ask, is just give me at least 1 or 2 good reasons why this source is a reliable source for your essay. And then 1 to 3 sentences, how you plan to use it in your essay. Is it going to be for your refutation? Is it going to be for to help provide context? Is it going to help you with what's it going to help you with? And again, you're going to want to take a look at my mini lectures, my short lectures in the essay 4 folder. Make sure at this point you should have watched all of them, but if you haven't, go back and watch all of them. And the thing is, you're going to notice that the 3 appeals, those videos are here too. These are older videos, as you can probably tell. It's a younger version of myself back in 2016 when I made these, but they're still valid, and what I'm talking about is still the truth. So basically, you're going to want to watch all of these videos to get a really good handle on what you're supposed to do for this essay and how you're supposed to do it. Again, this is already assigned, but just do yourself a favor. If you haven't watched them all, watch them all. And if you have watched them all, make sure that you completely understand. If not, that's why they're here in these miniature forms, right? It's only 10 to 15 minutes long per video, and some of them it's less than 5 minutes. That I tried to make them bite-sized for you so that it wasn't like you had to sit there and watch an hour-long program every single time just to find out, okay, let's talk about sources. Okay, so we do have a video. I want you to watch all of the videos, and if you're watching all the videos, you should understand this assignment very well. And if you've watched all the videos and you still don't understand the assignment very well, that's where you reach out to Professor Coomer and you do it early so that I can help you, and so that you have enough time to turn around and make those changes and make the corrections and right the ship, so to speak, correct the navigation, if you will, of your essay. So make sure you're watching all of those. And so basically what we are in, though, this week is week 13, and it's very straightforward, very straightforward. You're going to complete your outline, and many of you guys already have the outline done. I know I met with a few of you guys last week and you already had your outline done. So that was fantastic. If you haven't finished your outline, make sure that you are done with that. I would say by Wednesday at the latest, you'll want to finish that. And then you're going to want to upload the rough draft of your essay 4 to discussion board 4. So by Friday at midnight, you're going to have your essay completed, and it should be the best possible essay you possibly have. Okay. Also, you're going to upload your annotated bibliography to discussion board 5. Okay. And again, just to I guess show you one more time where these things are. Discussion board 4 is right here. Discussion board 5 is kind of skinny. It's down there at the bottom. So make sure to have those up there by the end of this week. And then let's see here, where are we going with this? All right. And then that's it. That's literally all you need to do by the end of this week, because next week is a big week for handing things in. Okay. You're going to hand in your essay 4 next week on Friday. And then you're going to make sure by Wednesday of next week that you've done your peer review. Okay. So you're going to do peer review between Friday of this week and Wednesday of next week. And then you're going to hand in your annotated bibliography, your final draft, your summaries. All of your homework is due Friday of next week. And then once that's handed in, you're going to start the last 2 weeks of school. Last 2 weeks of school is just working on the portfolio, that's just barely enough time. That is basically, that's your final project, and that will finish our course for the semester. So the end is nigh. Okay, we're in the last 4 weeks of school. So the last month of school begins today, and it will be here before you know it, the final day of school. So take it seriously. Work very hard on your essay. If you have any questions on what you're supposed to be doing for essay 4, make sure to reach out to me earlier rather than later, because hey, maybe it's going to be difficult for us to meet, or maybe you have a bigger misconception, or maybe you're more lost than you thought you were, or maybe you're not. Maybe you're like, oh, I totally knew what I was doing. And isn't it nice to get that news early on, and rather than to just kind of freak out for days on end? And it's like, well, maybe I should talk to the professor finally. So always get a hold of me as soon as you can if you need to talk to me. And then, of course, make sure whenever you're emailing me, let me know, okay, hey, Professor Coomer, this is my name. I'm in this class with you. These are my specific questions. And then if you'd like to meet with me, say, would it be okay if we secured a time? Of course, normally Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 a.m. During the 8 a.m. hour, I am in my virtual office. Tuesdays and Thursdays, generally, I will be available during the day at some point. You'll need to make an appointment. Typically, I'm going to be available during that 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock time slot. But that is also, especially this time of year, time when I'm doing a lot of other appointments and meetings, and so it's difficult for me to say for sure I'll be there. So that's why you always want to contact me ahead of time to make sure you've got an appointment ready to go. So that's what we're doing this week. Just really straightforward. Make sure that you've watched all the videos. Make sure you've read the assignment sheets. Really, ultimately, make sure. Let's see here. Hang on. Make sure you are set to finish this semester strong. Let me check one more thing in the Essay 4 folder to see if there's any other things I can help you with. But really, that is ultimately the best. Yeah, that's where we're headed. And eventually, you're going to hand in the final draft right here And then your annotated bibliography, you'll hand in within that folder right here. Also, I do have a video here about the annotated bibliography, and that does help a lot. So make sure you're watching. Essentially, if I made a video about it, it's important that you watch it. All right, guys. I hope you have a great week. Spring is springing, and it's only going to get nicer. So get that work done so you can go out and enjoy this beautiful weather. Guys, thanks so much, and I'll see you next week.